Hello again, I'm Artie, and in this video, we are going to talk about three very important elements of art: line, shape, and color. The elements of art are stylistic features that an artist uses to communicate their message to the viewer, and line, shape, and color are some of the elements that get used by artists the most out of all of them. So, let's start with lines. A line is a continuous mark that goes from one point to another. There are a lot of different types of lines that an artist can make. Can you think of different types of lines? Let's take a moment and think about it. There are the straight lines, horizontal, vertical, and diagonal. There are lines that are wavy, or zigzag, or curly. There are lines that are thick, and there are lines that are thin. Some lines can be broken, like a dotted line, a line that even though isn't continuous from point A to B, our brain reads it as a complete line. And then there are lines that are parallel, identical lines that can never touch, and perpendicular or intersecting lines that cross each other. Now, let's practice. I'm going to show you different lines, give you a moment to think about it, and then on the count of 3, let's say the name of the line out loud together. Ready? Let's get started with this one. This one's curly. Next, what about this one? Horizontal. And this one? Gotta be a zigzag. And now, what about this one? Yep, wavy. This one? Vertical. This one's similar, but what is it? Diagonal. And last but not least, what about this one? It's a broken line. Wonderful. If you couldn't remember all of those lines, that's okay. Just keep practicing, and I know you'll get it in no time. Now, what would you get if you put 2 parallel lines like this with 2 parallel lines like that? Correct. You'd get a square. A square, or any kind of shape, is made by connecting lines to create an enclosed area. What kind of shapes can we think of off the top of our heads? Let's think about it. Now, there are actually 2 categories of shapes: geometric and organic. Geometric shapes are regular shapes like squares, or triangles, or circles. There's also ovals and rectangles and diamonds and pentagons, hexagons, well, polygons. I could go on. There are so many different types of shapes that can be considered geometric. But what makes geometric shapes actually geometric? Well, one way of knowing if a shape is geometric is if it follows the same rules, no matter the size. So, a square is a shape that has 4 equal straight sides, no matter if it's a big square or an itty-bitty one. All squares are going to have 4 equal straight sides. A circle, no matter the size, will always be a curved line with both ends meeting, and the distance from the center is the same regardless of direction. A triangle will always have 3 straight lines connecting to each other. Now, organic or freeform shapes are a little trickier to define. These shapes don't really follow any rules. For example, what shape is a cloud? Let's think about it. It's hard for us to pick just one shape. We almost have to use the name of the object as the name of the shape. It's a cloud shape. And even then, the kind of cloud shape I might think of may be different from the shape of a cloud you think of. One way of distinguishing geometric and organic shapes from each other is if the object is man-made or natural. Perfect geometric shapes do not exist in nature. A person has to make them. Organic shapes are more often than not objects that are actually found in nature. Now, let's practice again. This time, I'm going to show you different types of objects. I'll give you a moment to think about if you think it's geometric or organic, and then on the count of 3, say the name out loud with me. Are you ready? Let's get started. What about this object? It's geometric. What about this object? Yep, organic. And this one? Geometric. Now what about this one? That's right, another geometric. What about these two objects? These are both organic. Last but not least, this one? This one's a little tricky. Everything inside the fishbowl is organic. The fishbowl itself is geometric. Good job, everyone. If you were a little unsure about a few of those answers, it's okay. Just keep working on it. And finally, colors. Color is one of my favorite elements because it is always surrounding us no matter where we look. Now, if we look at the 6 main colors, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, do you know which ones are called primary colors? If you guessed red, yellow, and blue, you're correct. Red, yellow, and blue are the primary colors for 2 reasons. The first reason is because if you mix them together, you create what are called the secondary colors. Let's actually see what secondary colors we create when we mix the primaries together. Red and yellow make orange, yellow and blue make green, and blue and red make purple. The second reason that red, yellow, and blue are primary colors is because you can't make them by mixing different colors together. Think about it. How do you make a red? How do you make blue? How do you make yellow? No matter what combinations you try, you'll find that in order to have red, blue, or yellow, you need to start with red, you need to start with blue, and you need to start with yellow. In addition to primary and secondary colors, there's also tertiary colors. And those colors are red-orange, yellow-orange, yellow-green, blue-green, blue-violet, and red-violet. Now, as we all know, colors can be powerful. They can communicate so much to us without ever having to use words. Blue can represent sadness. Some reds can represent anger. Other reds can represent love. But sometimes it can be more subtle than that. One aspect of color that determines what message or emotion is communicated to us is if a color is warm or cool. Here is how warm and cool colors are divided. Warm colors can be energizing and create a feeling of warmth. Cool colors can be soothing and create a relaxing or calming feeling. We can see examples of this in art, but we can also see the impact that color has on the everyday places around us, like at the store or in our homes, like our bedrooms. The colors that are there can completely transform these spaces. And it's good that we know that this is happening, both so we might understand why we're feeling a certain way, but then also if we want to communicate something, we know what colors to use. Well, everyone, That's going to be it for our talk on line, shape, and color. Thank you so much for watching. And now enjoy your virtual tour of the Fresno Art Museum and making some art. Bye.